morning, you're watching Hornbill TV's On Live Bulletin. As India gears up for its 78th Independence Day celebration, several banned militant groups in Manipur have declared a boycott of Independence Day celebrations on August 15th, announcing a statewide shutdown in protest against what they describe as the oppressive integration of Manipur into the Indian Union. The call for a boycott has been spearheaded by the Coordination Committee, an umbrella organization representing 6 banned insurgent groups, which has urged the people of Manipur to abstain from participating in any Independence Day activities. In a statement released by CORCOM, the organization announced a total shutdown in the state from 1 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. on August 15th. On August 15, the Socialist Revolutionary Party has called for a general strike from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Meanwhile, the Alliance for Socialist Unity Kanglai Park has also called for a statewide shutdown. They are urging people to observe the day as a black day by waving black flags. The groups have expressed strong discontent with the post-colonial integration of Manipur into the Indian Union, accusing it of ushering in a new form of Indian imperialism. They argue that the state's integration has led to repressive policies and ongoing violence, which they believe have exacerbated regional turmoil. Well, as the states in India have beefed up its security regarding the incoming Independence Day celebration, in which the central government has started a Har Ghar Tiranga campaign, Manipur seems to be having a very different picture. And to talk more on this, we've got our correspondent from Imphal, Mubashir Raja, and we'll connect to him and find out what the call has led to the state government of Manipur in actually doing, and whether the people in the state are actually looking forward to the 78th Independence Day. Good morning, Mubashir. Thank you so much for joining us on live, and especially on this bulletin. Well, we just heard about the CORCOM giving out a press release, issuing a statement asking people of Manipur to abstain from participating in any 78th Independence Day activities. Could you tell us a little more on what this umbrella organization CORCOM is, and why are they asking the people of Manipur to abstain from any Independence Day activities?
Well, Akibito, this ban is in place in Manipur for a very long time. It is not a new thing, first of all. Secondly, Manipur is observing Patriot Day today on 13th, that is, and 14th and 15th August will be a big day for all over India. That is how it is. As far as how state government is going to respond to all this kind of stuff can only be known from the state government authority. We will definitely try to get the State and Birren Singh and other state government authority how they are coping with. Normally, 15 August and 26 January are a very, very strict the security apparatus management has been in place in Manipur, and all these annual celebrations are always took place with utmost security apparatus. Yes, Akibito.
All right, Mubashir, you had just mentioned that banning, or rather abstaining from such celebrations, be it Republic Day or Independence Day, it's nothing new. But this time around, especially regarding 2023 and 2024, well, the violence erupted last year at around May. It's already been 15 months that Manipur is still embroiled in this conflict. Do you feel that there is the people on the ground, since you've been interacting with them, now that these militant groups have renewed their call to boycott Independence Day, and especially with whatever that is happening in Manipur, do you believe that people on the ground actually somehow kind of support the call to boycott Independence Day due to the center's negligence in trying to restore peace in the state?
The anguish and frustration of the people is understandable when a state is going through 15 months long violence and ethnic clashes. That's understandable. Frustration is always there, and recently, just yesterday, this assembly session was concluded, and it was rocked by the opposition members. Opposition members demanded that a special assembly session, a secret session should be called, and the crisis in Manipur should be separately discussed. in a special session. However, the opposition members wanted that, a delegation of all political parties led by Chief Minister and Biren Singh should visit Delhi and meet the Prime Minister, as Prime Minister is yet to visit the state, and even though the crisis is going on in the state for last 15 months. So that was the demand of the opposition members, and it completely rocked the assembly sessions, and ultimately, on Friday, the opposition members decided to walk out of the house. But the Chief Minister and the state government authorities maintained that the crisis in the state is relatively calmed down, and violence are, except for some stray incidents, violence have considerably calmed down. So there is not much thing to be worried about. Yes, Akibito.
All right, Mubashir, you had just recently attended a program in which Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh too had participated in the program that related to the Har Tiranga campaign program. There, he had said that he has asked all his MLAs to have food at relief camps and try and garner unity amongst one another in this time of undue unrest. Do you believe such move should have been done earlier rather than having to wait till the Independence Day to come, that is from 2023 May? Well, Manipur did go through another 15 August during that time of turmoil too, but at that point of time, since the violence took over the basic narrative of celebrating the Independence Day, well, this time in 2024, well, the CM has advised all his MLAs and ministers to go to relief camps, spend time with the people, have lunch, distribute relief items. Do you believe this should have come sooner from your representatives?
Well, Akibito, yes, Chief Minister and Biren Singh made a personal invitation to all the, legislators, that is ministers and MLAs, to visit the relief camp and have lunch with them on 15 August as a part of celebration. But having said that, when we talk to the relief camp inmates, their main concern at the moment is, resettlement and, how or when they will be able to go back to their original places. These are the, main concern they are having. All this, things like, having lunch together or giving some gift items or relief items is definitely helpful, but after certain times, people started, feeling that, ultimately they need some permanent solution or some long-lasting solution. That is what relief camp inmates told. They have recently, even held out rallies and, have dharnas, etc. And the state government have to control them using, tear gas and even knife rounds were fired at this, Singjam in Impal. So the ultimate, ultimate wish of the people or relief camp inmates at the moment is, some kind of, durable solution, some kind of, permanent solution. That is what they are expecting at the moment. But all those things like, having lunch together and all those kind of things are just momentary things. Yes, Akibito.
All right, Mubashir, now looking back, you just mentioned a very important point stating where the opposition, they alleged that the opposition were branded as non-supportive to the Manipur issue, whereas the opposition in the state Manipur Assembly had asked for a special session to speak about this particular 13-month or rather now 15-month conflict so that they could have a special session. Well, if you look back in time, even in the parliament, if you look back in, or rather if you look at India's democratic system, the parliament is one institution that speaks about the national issues, stories of national interest or issues of national interest, and that is how that is deliberated in the parliament, and that has a calling for all the citizens of India. Well, and then you've got the state legislative assemblies that have the responsibility to tackle all state-related issues in the House. Do you believe the people in the ground have been let down by the present government? Because when Manipur had just recently concluded its monsoon session, or rather the budget session, there was no special session just to speak or rather to deliberate on the present crisis that Manipur is currently undergoing. Well, in this particular session of the State Manipur Assembly, the 10 key legislators did not even participate. Leave along that, there was a committee formed in which Mr. Letpao Haukip, without his consent, was also put into one committee, after which the Congress, the opposition had reprimanded the speaker, stating that he should have taken the consent from Letpao Haokip himself, who later denied, stating that he will not want to be part of any committee. Do you believe that the state Manipur Legislative Assembly has let down the people of Manipur by not discussing the most heated, or rather the most important issue of all, which is the Manipur crisis in the currently held Manipur Assembly session?
Well, the opposition, particularly Congress and other parties, are demanding that a special secret sessions should be held and issues should be discussed thoroughly, and then a representation should be sent to the center, particularly the prime ministers, and a solution should be the solution of this 13 months violence should be the priority, top priority of any government. Particular state government. But having said that, the state government have other, many other issues at the moment. They, in a way, they are also, powerless. Chief Minister himself confessed that, the unified command has been taken out from him, and he cannot, hold the fully reins in the Hill district. So he's saying that, he is also having a lot of limitation at the moment. But as far as your question is concerned, that whether the state government had let down the people of the state, yes, definitely. People are not at all happy with the kind of state government, with the kind of treatment the state government had moved up to them. They failed to bring a feasible solution for the 13 months old crisis and above it. Even though there are except for a few stray incidents, there are very few incidents of violence at the moment. But having said that, tension is still very high in many places, and even the connection between the two communities is still very wide and very far at the moment. Yes, Akibito.
Mubashir, looking at another aspect, it was very alarming to hear that truck that was carrying media, or rather print papers, for the journalists in Manipur, that was burned down in an arson attack. Not only that, just very recently when you had gone to a protest rally of the internally displaced people, there was an individual attack by a police officer against a journalist from Manipur. Well, the All Working Journalists Union of Manipur, they also held a protest, and they have appeal to the government to take strong action and to protect the journalists who are covering events in such turbulent times. How has the press family in Manipur been secured by the government, and also do you believe that such attacks are going to increase against working journalists there in Manipur, and how protected do you feel?
Well, Akibito, about this burning down of this newsprint somewhere in Kangpokpi district, the highways in Manipur are not set. That is, everybody knows. It's not only about print material, but highways in Manipur are not set. Which should be the top priority of state government right from the very beginning. As far as as far as the condition of journalist fraternity in Manipur is concerned, the journalist community more often than not face a lot of problems, both from the region organizations and both from the from warring communities, and particularly and also from the state government. Sometimes they also use good force when we were reporting on the ground. About the particular incident that you mentioned, where a particular journalist was assaulted by the police personnel at this Tunjamai area. He was actually just doing his duty, and that particular officer, physically assaulted him. Later on, state government took some prompt step, and the officer was suspended, which was definitely very welcoming. However, having said that, when going out in the field, particularly in conflict kind of situation, it's never going to be easy, and it's never easy in Manipur, particularly in Manipur. We are facing all kind of threats and all kind of intimidation, both from I must say from every quarter. Yes, Akibito.
All right, Mubashir, thank you so much for giving us the latest update as to the ground situation in Manipur, and we will be following up more on this particular ban that has been called by Corcom, in which it has asked the people of Manipur to abstain from any Independence Day activities. Well, we hope you're safe, Mubashir. We'll get in touch with you very soon. Thank you. Well, that was our correspondent Mubashir Raji, and then he just informed us that these calls by these militant groups are actually an annual event in which they urge the people of Manipur to abstain from celebrating any national event. Well, this time it's a kind of different, like Mubashir was stating, because the people in the ground actually want their life to go back to normal. Well, Manipur has been going through some 15 months of excruciating pain and agony due to the internal conflict that erupted last year in May 2023. Well, in other news, the session, Manipur Assembly session just concluded, in which the opposition had said that the ruling party did a very grave thing by not holding a special session to speak on the turmoil that has been ongoing in Manipur for the past 15 months. Well, Hornbill TV will get you all the live updates from the turmoil state of Manipur and with all the latest that is happening there. So for more news and updates, stay tuned to Hornbill TV. Goodbye.
Cultural sustainability is an important issue that often gets overlooked. It refers to the idea of preserving and sustaining traditional cultures in the face of globalization and modernization. Sustainable tourism, alternatively, promises not only to support economic development in destinations, but also to facilitate cultural and environmental conservation in heritage sites around the world. Tourism has not always been the most sustainable endeavor. Some forms of tourism have even led to culturally and environmentally abusive and exploitative practices, from polluting to poaching. The World Tourism Organization defines sustainable tourism as tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social and environmental impacts, addressing the needs of the visitors, the industry, the environment and host communities. Nagaland is also a hub of culture and nature, attracting tourists from everywhere to witness the land, nature, tourist sites and popularly known festivals like Hornbill Festival. With the age of globalization, tourism has become a way of cultural globalization and promoting green village culture. Our land is very naturally inhabited, and so tourism is also growing quite spontaneously, attracting travelers and tourists across the globe. And in order to efficiently promote our tourism, we have to learn ways to promote sustainable tourism to protect our cultural and environmental heritage. One of the most important ways that sustainable tourism practices support environmental and cultural preservation is through adherence to
डबल इंजन की सरकार प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व और उनके मार्गदर्शन में जिस प्रकार की व्यवस्था प्रदेश के अंदर लागू की है, आज उसके परिणाम देखने को मिल रहे हैं। ये वही प्रदेश था जहां पहले दंगे होते थे, कानून व्यवस्था की स्थिति बदहाल थी, न बेटी सुरक्षित थी, न व्यापारी सुरक्षित था, अराजकता का तांडव होता था। और यह तो प्रदेश के अंदर था, इसका दुष्परिणाम सर्वाधिक उठाना पड़ता था हमारे युवाओं को, जो नौकरी और रोजगार के लिए उत्तर प्रदेश के बाहर कहीं जाता था तो उसके सामने पहचान का संकट खड़ा होता था। पहचान का यह संकट खड़ा करने वाले वही लोग हैं जो आज विभिन्न नाम और रूपों के साथ फिर से, अनेक कारनामे वही हैं लेकिन हुलिया बदल करके फिर से आपके सामने बहकाने के लिए आए हैं। मैं देख रहा था जब बालिका को मैं नियुक्ति पत्र दे रहा था तो उस बालिका के मुंह से निकला कि खटाखट ये है जो आज हमें नियुक्ति पत्र प्राप्त हो रहा है, वो नहीं जो अप्रैल मई के अंदर सुनने को मिल रहा था। अप्रैल और मई के अंदर भी आपने सुना होगा खटाखट क्या होता है, और उस समय 1-1 लाख रुपए के बॉन्ड पत्र भराए गए थे। 1 लाख रुपया है, 9 से मिलने वाला 8,500 रुपया है, और खटाखट वाले भी अपने पिकनिक मनाने के लिए फिर निकल चुके हैं देश के अंदर। उनका कहीं अता पता नहीं है, होगा भी नहीं। ये लोग आएंगे फिर वही, जब मौसम आएगा तो फिर अपने मौसम के अनुसार फिर समाज को विभाजित करने के लिए, अराजकता फैलाने के लिए, धोखे से लॉटरी अगर कभी लग गई तो फिर प्रदेश को नोचने के लिए। आज मैं कह सकता हूं उत्तर प्रदेश के सामने पहचान का संकट नहीं है, कोई पहचान का संकट नहीं है। उत्तर प्रदेश की टीम ने जो कार्य किया है और डबल इंजन